This is Machuka Nyarieko TV Talk Show, where we analyze politics and governance issues. We focus on national, local, and international news. We examine the political way of our people, social and economic. Nyarieko TV Talk Show, the house of ideas.
Welcome to our normal discussions, and today we will focus on one of the proposed presidential candidate come 2027, that is Fred Matiang'i. But before we proceed, kindly, if you are watching this channel for the first time, subscribe so that whenever we produce another video, YouTube will automatically notify you. And for our resident subscribers, thank you for your continued support. Continue watching, liking, and sharing. And back to our discussion today. Of course, in the few weeks, we have had issues to do with governance in our state, and the young people by the name Gen Z have been having issues right from the time of rejection of the finance bill, occupying parliament, and now that they are advocating for good governance with several conditions. Interestingly, it's that the young people want Matiang'i to be their presidential candidate, or to take over if possible, with a simple assumption that when he was a minister for education, he was able to curb exam cheating. So they want him so that he can curb corruption, because they believe that it is because of corruption that Kenya is dragging behind, that taxes are rising, they are being made to pay high taxes, to pay for a few individuals who will come, take the money, and no development is realized. And a simple question that one may ask is Matiang'i ready for that top job? And who is Matiang'i? So those are two things that I look at today. To begin with, I will start by the second question, that is, who is Matiang'i? Matiang'i comes from both Kisii and Nyamira counties, because its original home is South Mugrango, and his father or his family stays at Nyansiongo, that is Chebing'ombe area near Kamukunji. Matiang'i has worked in the civil service. He has worked as a lecturer in one of the local universities. He has also worked closely with the former minister, who is the late Simeon Nyachai, especially 2002. And then later, he worked with the former president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Maybe it's a experienced background, like now working with people like Simeon Nyachai, could have given him this college and working experience. It can be remembered that when Simeon Nyachai was Minister for Finance, too many things changed. When he was in agriculture, the same. I remember that was the time when the tea bonus also shot up. People were carrying money with bags. And is the man during the Moi regime who was, or who fully said that the Kenyan economy was in ICU, and then he was moved from that ministry because of this was dangerous to say during that regime that there is no money in our state. It's not like today. So on that background, Matiang'i, who is also a teacher, he was a teacher, uh, was given the Ministry of ICT by Uhuru Kenyatta, but the one in which he is most celebrated is the Ministry of Education, where it is believed that he was able to curb the exam cheating all over the Republic of Kenya. Even in security, he did improve in some areas. He did so much. He did also allocate funds to security areas for infrastructure development. Like now, there were roads which were constructed along the whirling communities, or where cows or animals theft was being done, so they had to construct roads around those communities for easy accessibility of the security forces. Matiang'i formed a UPA party, United Progressive Party, under which in the last general elections, people contested in it. But because I was also a member of the UPA party, then what I realized is that Matiang'i can best work as an administrator, maybe an officer, an implementer. He can be a president as the Gen Z did, but for him to be successful, he will need to have at least some politicians who will understand how political parties work. Probably he gave it a low profile since he was a minister for security, and of course members of the cabinet secretaries are not supposed to get involved too much in politics. However, people like Eugene Wamalwa did not shy off. But since this man was a technocrat, there was that not much involvement by him in party affairs. So uh, Matiang'i needs to be surrounded by at least a few politicians since he's a manager. That is, if he was to go as per the Gen Zs, then Gen Zs have declared time and again that they want Matiang'i. Meaning come 2027, Matiang'i may be on the ballot, or he'll be forced. They say it, or they have been saying that they will force him. But this brings me to the second question. Is Matiang'i ready for the job? Matiang'i may not be ready to speak now because when the current regime took over, and when he tried to speak, he was invaded. He was invaded by the state machineries that sent him to the quiet rooms to today. You know, sometimes you don't fight the government, you just keep quiet and wait. At independence, when Kenya got its independence, people like Jaramogi Oginga Odinga refused to take up the positions until Jomo Kenyatta was released. And when Jomo Kenyatta was released, he became the head of them. So it cannot be the first time that young people will fight for someone who is not even ready to take that position. Matiang'i, having participated in the campaigns of Simeon Nyachae, Matiang'i having worked with Uhuru Kenyatta and being given that powerful position, which is on on a security, where he enjoyed security, you cannot rule out that he cannot be one of the top leaders in Kenya. No one, not even a single person, will want to remain in the same position. Therefore, today he may not speak, and he will not speak, but Young will want to see peace in himself and his family, and even in Kenya. But it will not be shocking to see him being endorsed as the next presidential candidate by these young people. Of course, from his home background, they will say amen to him, and he has made a name all over the republic. His image may not be attributed to tribal kingdoms. You can make it. It's not a tribal chiefdom. And probably that explains why these young people are looking for him. Whether they are genuine or not, whether they are in sin or unseen, they have spoken about him. Machuka Nyarieko TV, kindly continue subscribing.